Shalom, Yasharal. Shalom. Okay. Got something I want to share with you. Something odd happened to me today. This morning, you can see what's on the screen. That guy there, A. Joseph Flynn, messaged me at he commented right there. It was like at 4 a.m. And he said, you can see, greetings, my name is Adrian. My teacher would like to have a sensible discussion with you on some spiritual matters. And you can see my excitement. I mean, for those of y'all who know I've been looking for a discussion, and those that know I'm not looking for an argument, because I don't get down like that. I don't have disputes. But, I've been sounding like a broken record that no one will ever just talk about anything. They say I'm wrong, and then they dip out. So you can see my excitement there. I said, get out of here. Absolutely. Never been asked that before. So please forgive my excitement. Yes, I'd love to. And, man, what happened was really weird. Let me tell you. The last time something like this happened, something magnificent happened. But let me tell you about this first. So that guy there, he said his teacher wanted to talk to me. And he said his teacher was in Texas and wouldn't wake up. Look right here. Here is 8:40. You can see this guy must have been from, I don't know him. He's must be a friend. He's obviously a friend of mine, and on the friends list, quote unquote. He must be from a different country. You can tell by what he said and how he said it. He said it's 8:44 a.m. and for me, look, it was 5:43 a.m. when we started texting, messaging each other. And see, same time as you, which is perfect. He will be awake if you are free for this discussion in a couple of hours. And it reminded me of the last time something like this happened. And I'll just tell you real quick what happened the first time. A lady from China done that to me and said that her, like this well-known author from Nigeria, and I checked him out, he is, and he writes under a pen name because he's in hiding from drug lords over there. I checked that out. True, no doubt. It was all true. And I can confirm that to you if you would like. And that guy, this was a few years ago. And it was around the time that the Most High gave me my first revelation, when he shared the first thing with me that just blowed my mind. And that was about the Revelation 12 sign and the man-child, and all about that sign, about the lady being clothed in the sun, which is the church, sun worship, and I can tell you about that later. It was around that time. And this guy said, back then, the first time this happened, this guy said that he was from Nigeria. He had a vision that his people were, that he was looking at a huge almond tree, and the fruit of the almond tree it was huge and just amazing. And that elders that he knew was shaking the tree. They couldn't drop the fruit, couldn't get the fruit to come down. And his people were mourning because they were starving. and one of the elders said, "Who can shake this tree?" And he said, "I'll do it." He went up, shook the tree, nothing came down, and he cried out and said, "Who was able to shake the tree?" I kid you not. He said he heard a voice that said, "Dottie Ben Yahuwah." Believe me if you want, I don't care. But this time, this guy here asked me in a similar way that Chinese lady did. And I was like, what the heck? And so I kept asking him, like, well, what is it? What's this teacher of yours wanting to talk to me about? And I told him, I was like, he kept saying, well, my teacher's going to get up at 8:30 or whatever, basically. And I had to be on a job site to meet a customer at 9 a.m. And I told him, I was like, yeah, I'll talk to this guy, his teacher, but I don't know for how long I will be able to, because I have to go to work. Well, when it finally happened, the teacher of his and some other guy FaceTimed me on Messenger, like a group video chat, whatever. And one of the guys, the guy on the right, never really said anything but shalom. The guy on the left was the teacher. And he claimed he was a Messiah. He said he wasn't Yahusha David, but he was a Messiah. And right out the gate in the discussion, I could tell that they were wanting to talk to me so they could lay a trap for me. Well, the one guy was, the teacher Messiah guy. And because he was asking me questions to see what I knew. It's crazy, let me tell you. And I told him that, before I told him that, I said, why, what do you want to talk to me for? Why do you want to talk to me? And he said, because there are a lot of people that claim they are in the truth, but in fact are liars, and they're not really, they haven't really come to the truth yet that he said he obtains. And he wanted to test me, I guess. He asked me, he said, so what do you think the light is that was mentioned in Genesis 1? And I was like, you mean the light that Abba said was good, whatever. But I knew I could see what he was trying to do, and I said, well, just hold on. I said, what's your intentions here? I said, I get the feeling this reminds me of when they tried to set a trap for the Messiah. And he knew that. And I said, that's what I'm getting from this. So I have to ask you, and since you say you are who you are, I'm gonna go ahead and believe you're gonna tell me the truth. What are your intentions to trap me, to say aha, or is this to edify? Is this discussion that you seek to have with me, is this to edify? And he danced around that question, never did answer it. And he kept saying things like he knew what my relationship with Abba was, and basically telling me that I had none and that I was just a farce. And I asked him, I said, well, how do you know that? I mean, are you the Most High? Can you read my heart and my thoughts? And y'all know what I've been talking about for a while now, about pride, right? And about how if someone can't have an understanding, honest conversation with someone without looking down their nose and trying to have a pissing contest. If they can't do that, they're prideful. This guy was prideful. I'm not going to tell you who he was. I'm not going to do all that. This ain't really about him. But this is how my day was developed into a great piece of truth, a revelation, and understanding that I was brought to by Abba Yahuwah. And when I tell you, there would be no way that I would have come to this understanding had it not had the things that happened today not happened. Had I not went through that little crazy ordeal this morning, and had I not went through what I went through the rest of the day, and the day ain't even over yet, so I'm sure there's still more to come out of this. But after I went to work, went to lunch, I was thinking, this guy, the teacher, he mentioned, be thou perfect, like the Most High is perfect, right? And he was basically saying, in layman's terms, you claim to be in a relationship with Abba Yahuwah. I'm going to show you things that you've never seen before. I'm going to baptize you in fire and show you that you aren't what you say. And because I have all the answers and you are a nobody. Pounding his chest. And I guess he just didn't know who he was talking to, because that is all I've talked out against, right, for months. And I just wasn't I seen what that was, and I didn't want any part of it. But you seen my excitement in the beginning. I was like, yes, we're going to have, someone wants to have a discussion with me. Maybe this is going to be an edifying conversation. No. But when he said that be thou perfect verse, I thought about that the rest of the afternoon, never got it out of my head, and I was thinking, I wonder what that word perfect in the Hebrew or Aramaic really meant, what the definition of that word really was. Does the Most High really want us to be absolutely perfected? Like when you jump, does he want you to jump the highest that you could jump, or run the fastest, or be the smartest? When it says study to show yourself approved, are you to show yourself approved like a computer, like a quantum computer? Just perfection, absolute perfection? Is that what he expects of us? And if we're not, the way this, according to this Messiah guy, if we're not, then we ain't shit. Is that what the Most High wants from us? When he said, one of the main messages throughout the scriptures is, be set apart. But does he say, if you cannot memorize every scripture and the number of the verse perfectly, you ain't coming, you might as well forget it, you're garbage? No. Does he expect you to be like a Shaolin master with everything you do, just complete mastery of it? Yeah, mastery is good. But will it keep you from an intimate relationship with Abba? Is that what he wants? He wants a relationship with perfect little ninja robots or whatever, you know? No. That would be pride. We would be set up for failure, and we would eventually, one way or the other, come to have pride within us. If it was about, if there was even, if what we were trying to do, our learning, our education, our walk, if any of it had even the slightest bit to do with how perfect we are, how much better we are than the rest of it would lead to pride, and that's pride right there. So what does Abba Yahuwah want from us? He wants a relationship with us. Yes, we are to be set apart, not be of the world, come out of Babylon, all that. But do we have to be perfected to do that? Will we be perfected? Sure. Are we going to be so perfect that we will look at just mere humans like, he's just a human. Who is he compared to me? I have been perfected, and I will look down my nose. No, come on now. So I went and I typed in the Hebrew word used in the Bible for perfected or perfect. And wouldn't you know, the first article come up was by this gypsy scholar. And it says right here, according to this guy, on the Milton list yesterday, the ambiguous meaning of the word perfect was being discussed in the context of 17th century English, and one scholar referred to Matthew 5:48 in the King James Version as possibly meaning completeness rather than to some extreme moral perfection. And this is what I had been thinking for 4 or 5 hours before I ever looked for this definition, for the etymology of the word perfect or perfection. Be perfect, therefore, as your heavenly Father is perfect. Do you see what's the odds, that this is how this is reading by the gypsy scholar? Incidentally, I grew curious about the verse and posted a comment. Incidentally, the Greek word in Matthew 5:48 is teleo, which can be translated as either complete or perfect in contemporary English, and thus has the same ambiguity that the word perfect still had for the KJV translators. Possible word in Hebrew would be shalom, which can mean completeness, soundness, welfare, peace. Not Jesus, but Yahusha, of course, would likely have been speaking Aramaic. So the question as to what word he actually used would be close to Hebrew. I cannot, however, recall a Tanakh passage calling upon Israelites to be shalom, as the Most High is. I do recall that Israelites are called to be set apart, even as the Most High is set apart. And I wonder if the idea of set apartness stands behind Matthew 5:48. The word for set apart is Kodesh, which has the sense of being set apart. Wouldn't it be so? How anybody, especially someone that hasn't read much scripture, when they read the word holy, are they to even believe that they're reading? They would know, in no way are they going to connect that with set apart. Once you see the two words set apart, you know exactly what is being asked of you. If you didn't know what holy meant, and I said be holy, what would you want to do? What would you do? What would you initially think? But if I said be set apart, that would at least give you a foundation of, what it's trying to imply to you. That might fit the context of Matthew. For Yahusha is there calling upon those who follow him to strive to meet ethical standards higher than the ethics practiced by Gentiles, in effect to set themselves apart. I was corrected by Professor Harold Shulsky, whose postings have always impressed me and who seems to combine the offices of philosopher, literary critic, and a linguist. I am Yahuwah the Most High. Walk before me and be thou perfect. The Hebrew answering to perfect is tamim, Aramaic tamim. Adjective shalom. Shalom is a rough equivalent. Shalom is not an objective and rarely, if ever, means moral perfection, though it sometimes means health or bodily soundness. I stood corrected, but not quite ready to relinquish my hunch about holiness, set apartness. Do you think that the Most High wants you to be better than someone? Or do you think he wants you to be honest, diligent for sure, set apart, determined, disciplined? But if he wants you to be without flaw, and I know, like, the Messiah was without flaw. We are to esteem him. We esteem the Most High. Are we to be worshipped? Are we to look down on someone and say, I am Dottie, Yahuwah? Who are you? Alex Trebek. Was the first name come to my mind. I know, right? Who are you, Alex Trebek? You are just a Gentile. You are nothing to me. I pity a fool. No, come on. Love our neighbor. Yes, be set apart. Have nothing to do with evil. But when it comes to our brother, are we in a race to be perfect? And is it always going to be our mission to never fail and be absolutely perfect? I don't think so. Because if you think about it, that will only lead to pride. So this guy who wanted to talk to me this morning tried to set a trap for me. Why? I don't know. I don't know if he watched one of my videos. It didn't sound as if he did. But it sounded really, I don't know this, but just my take, it sounded like him and his buddy sat around in a basement somewhere and just acted like they were already the Most High, and it was up to them to bring people into this truth that only they possess, because they are the masters of the universe or something. I don't know. It's just crazy. So it was just all the more revealed once again to me repetition, right? That any time you ever get to thinking that you're all that in a bag of chips, hit the brakes, check yourself, because you're not. And if we are to think that in the future, why are we not to think that now? That's my question to you. Do you think that in the future we are to have that attitude that we are the Sheeznit? I do not believe that. I think we're always going to, those who love Abba and that are his true children will always remain humble. Being humble is of great value and benefit. The opposite leads to destruction, and I find no value in it. The truly humble, they don't have to try or outperform. That's something that's not even thought of. That's of no importance. It's irrelevant to who they are and what they're doing. Abba Yahuwah gets all esteem, all honor, all glory. You know it, baby. All praise, because he is the Most High, our wonderful Creator, Master of heaven and earth. On his throne he sits, and the Messiah at his right hand. Yes, some of us will rule and reign as a kingdom of priests, but always remember, you are not all that. You are not the Sheeznit, and if you get to thinking you are, that's your sign that you definitely are not. I love y'all. Shalom, shalom. Peace out. Shabbat shalom. Peace out. D is out.